I'm trying to do something different with my bangs today, so let's pretend it's working. Hey everyone, it's Laynie and welcome to my channel. How are you guys doing today? Seriously, leave it in the comment section down below. I love hearing from you guys. Today I was inspired to talk about Freshies in my collection because I have been hitting the gym on the regular. It's been hot outside. So those are the times, places, and seasons that make me really crave more fresh fragrances. If you enjoy fragrance content, a little bit of lifestyle content, and beauty content, make sure you click that subscribe button, join the fam, you will not regret it. I'm going to be real with you. I am still fairly new to the fragrance world. I've loved fragrance for a long time, but I am nowhere near an expert. I'm just somebody who enjoys fragrance. I'm not a professional. I'm not a trained nose, so I'm just going to share with you what I feel like is fresh in my collection. I do know that for fresh fragrances, we're usually thinking citruses, bergamot, lime, lemon, those fresh, juicy citrus tones, a little zesty even. In my collection, what I think of as fresh is a little bit different because I really love super sweet, gourmand, sexy, flirty fragrances. So in my collection, I definitely think of traditional fresh scents, again, citruses, but I also think of things that are more watery, more body splash like, a little bit more fruity than they are dense, sweet floral. Yeah, so anyways, if you want to see what kind of Freshies I have in my collection, then just keep watching. Banging today. They're doing something. I'm in that spot in life where I'm debating between, do I grow them out? Do I trim them? Like, do I want side long curtain bangs? What do I want? I don't know. My heart doesn't know. I'm also in the process of trying to grow out my pink and wash it out so I can do something different. So the hair, it's just doing its own thing right now. Okay, so starting with the most true fresh fragrances in my collection. Come on, we have to. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. The most traditional fresh scent that I can think of. Citrus forward, citrus, watery, just like a splash of citrus juice on your skin. If you cannot tell, there's not much of a dent in there because I don't reach for citruses a lot. This one to me is truly just very hot summer day, and I'm going to be spending a lot of time outside, so I don't want anything that's going to make me sick to my stomach, going to give me a headache. So if you can't tell, I don't do those things very often. We have the lemon in here, some apple, cedar, bellflower, the bamboo, definitely a good fresh watery note, a little bit of jasmine and rose. So there are some florals in here, but to me this is very citrus heavy, cedar, musk, and amber. I do think she's really beautiful. Again, it's not one I reach for a lot, and I will say it don't project. I really want the light blue forever though. That one smells so good to me. Now, one that I often reach for if I want a true fresh feeling, it is Glossier You. If you've ever smelled Juliet Has a Gun, very similar. This honestly reminds me as well as the Yellow Diamond by Versace. Something about this one. This is a very simple fragrance. We have iris, ambrette, pink pepper, and ambroxan. And ambroxan is totally what gives me that super fresh vibes. To me, ambroxan is a very clean note. If I want something that is just going to make me feel fresh and clean, but also elevated and elegant, this will do it. I don't reach for this a ton. It's really a gym scent to me. On the right woman, it's just very elegant. It's like you're just put together and you're not trying to smell lovely, but you do. Since this is such a clean one, there's really nothing sweet in there. There's nothing playful. I don't reach for it a lot, but it's really nice to mix with something that you feel is a little too heavy, a little too sweet. This will tone it down. This is probably the freshest one in my collection. Makeup-y scents to me come across quite clean, and I have two of those in my collection. I have Lolita Lampica, which I think this is just called Lolita Lampica by Lolita Lampica, and then Juliet Has a Gun Lipstick Fever. I was sent this and influenced her, and I was so freaking excited I actually jumped up and down. But these are my two true makeup-y scents. blends. I personally think the Lolita Lampica is a little bit more candy-like than the Juliet Has a Gun. We've got anise, violet, ivy, so that green note, licorice, cherry, iris, and orris root. I do find orris root to come across quite fresh, refreshing. So there you will see orris root in this another time or two. Then there's vanilla, praline, tonka bean, I can't talk today, white musk, and vetiver. So this is definitely on the more sweet, more playful side of fresh, but I do feel like this is a freshie if I'm wanting something that's not going to feel heavy, super gourmand. If I don't want something that's going to feel super heavy on me, like it's weighing me down, then this I will grab when I'm still wanting that playful, sweet twist. This one is more fresh than the Lolita Lampica because it has way less gourmand notes in here. You don't find as many as the Lolita. You still have the raspberry, so there is a fruity sweetness, but you have violet and iris, to me, are definitely more a fresh floral. You have patchouli, but I don't get like a heavy cloying patchouli in this. Definitely get the cedar and vanilla, but to me, this is very powdery with that juicy raspberry, which makes it more body splash-esque. It's a very juicy raspberry. I definitely get a woodiness, especially in the dry down. It is very powdery. It's just a really nice, fresh yet watery, powdery fragrance. Again, you can see I haven't used it a lot because I am a gourmand sweet girl. This one, in the opening, is pretty fruity, but honestly in the dry down, it could be a unique unisex because the woods really come out in my opinion. I need to play with this more in the heat because in the winter, this one just gets totally overtaken. It is not dense enough, it is not thick enough, it is not sweet enough. I really need to start playing with this while it is hot out because this is a very good hot weather fragrance. And then this is a new one to my collection, so I haven't played with it a lot, but I had to mention it. This is Sweet Mint, Tangerine, Southern Magnolia, Bourbon, Grisolva, Sugar Cube, and Crushed Ice. This one to me is fresh with a twist. You're not going to smell like, oh, I just took a shower, oh, I just hit the gym, but this is not going to be heavy, cloying in the warm weather. This would never make it in the cold, that's for sure. That sweet mint in there adds that interesting, fresh twist. And also the tangerine, so you have that citrusy, but it's a little bit of a sweeter citrus than your lemon, lime, bergamot. Then you have the booziness and the crushed ice, which really makes this kind of watery and fresh. I think this is really unique. Even though wood isn't listed, I get a really woody effect in this warm weather. Definitely could be unisex. I think on a nice hot day, this is a very good one to grab. Quickly, I want to mention 4 body sprays that I would put in my fresher category. Poppy, which is getting discontinued. If you like the smell of poppy, then please, please, please try the Dossier dupe of Perfect. You have rhubarb, orange, blossom, peach, daffodil, milky accord, narcissa, cedarwood, blondewoods, musks. This is so juicy and airy, yet sweet and playful and flirty. It honestly reminds me a lot of poppy because poppy has that rhubarb note, and this is getting discontinued. You can find Perfect at a discount if you're looking for juicy, fruity, kind of watery, sweet, but not cloying in the heat. Then this is a sweet, fruity freshie that I would grab. Again, in my opinion, freshie. You know, you do you, boo-boo. And then Sea and Soul by Sol de Janeiro. I don't know if you can get this one anymore. It might have been limited edition, so I'll mention it quickly. Juicy citrus and ocean musk. Really, really pretty. I really enjoy this one. It's such a sugared citrus. I love that. I think it makes it sweet enough for me that's why I enjoy it, and I have honestly used quite a bit for my collection. One I would say if you can't get this that you might want to check out is the Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Forever. That has a very sugary, sweet citrus opening. That kind of reminds me of this one. 2 brand new ones, so I haven't played with them a lot, but I have Watermelon Mojito and You're the One by Bath & Body Works. I think you can get both of these in the semi-annual sale. The Watermelon Mojito is watermelon soda, pink rum, and cane sugar. It reminded me a lot in the description. I don't think I ever said this one. Imaginary Authors. Mint Julep. so sorry. This is Mint Julep by Imaginary Authors. This reminded me of it with some watermelon mixed in, and I thought they would be beautiful together. This one's watery, it's sweet, it's fruity. I haven't given it a full day's wear, so I don't know about projection, but this is the kind of fruity fragrance I lean towards on a really hot day if I'm going to be out running errands or doing something fun, because it's just juicy. That watermelon is such a juicy fruit. It's not going to make it cloying. It's not going to be heavy. So I do love a good watermelon fragrance in the hot months. One I would recommend is the Dolce & Gabbana 3 Patrice. I don't know how to say it. I'll link it down below since I'm mentioning it. It is like the juiciest watermelon ever. If you want something that is not cloying but it smells so fruity and good and refreshing, that's the one. And then You're the One. This is an interesting one to me. It is white birch, velvety rose, and a drop of strawberry nectar. To me, this almost smells like it has ambroxan in there. It's not listed, but I get a really ambroxan-y vibe, and I think that's what makes this so refreshing. I definitely get the velvety rose petals, but it's not a dark rose. To me, it's like a pink rose, and I think pink rose is much more refreshing than the deep, dark, jammy rose. So that lightens this up, and it makes it a really good one to pair under my sweeter strawberry fragrances that I want to be fresher this time of year. I have been wearing this underneath of my Sugarful. I've also been wearing it underneath of, what is it called? Cherry Delice by Johann B. Those are both ultra sweet, and this gives it a nice boost of freshness this time of year. Speaking of rose, this is Glass Rose by Mix Bar. I actually love this fragrance. If you're looking for elegant, elevated, fresh, where you don't want to smell like soap, you don't want to smell like a dryer sheet, but you want to smell clean and like you're not trying super hard, but you're very elegant, you're very put together, I think Glass Rose is a great one. If you like Delina and you're on a budget, this doesn't smell like a dupe by any means, but she reminds me of that same category of woman, that same elevation of woman. In here we have freesia, rose, grapefruit. That grapefruit I think helps brighten this, make it a bit more fresh. Musk, raspberry, bergamot, moss, cedar, amberwood. This to me is extremely classy. I honestly think this would make a beautiful bridal scent, especially if you're having a summer wedding. I had a summer wedding. It was so hot. You don't want anything that's gonna like get on your nerves after a while, that's going to wear well in the heat. Something like this will. And it's the perfect size to pop in a little bag to take with you because it's cheap. I do feel like I personally would reapply because a wedding is a long day from start to finish. Summer weddings, they try to play us. We don't want to be a stinky bride. We want to smell good. So this is one I would reach for because it is very elegant. I have even more, but I'm trying to not make this video 700 million years long. Not fresh in the traditional sense at all, but this is Eden Juicy Apple, and it is just that. If you've ever smelled Country Apple by Bath & Body Works, this is her bigger sister. She's elevated. She's more expensive. She's been around the block a time or two. This is really nice. It is so juicy that you almost feel like you're being ripped off because it smells like a body spray, but you paid the premium price for it. But there is raspberry and apple, and it's just so juicy. I think it's beautiful. Don't pay full price. Wait for a sale because it is so body splash-like. The longevity isn't crazy, but if you love the fact that Cloud or Baccarat is sweet, but it makes this like crystal clear scent bubble around you, beautiful, soft, sugary bubble around you, this is a great one. Another one that I think has the similar effect is Zara Red Temptation Summer. I really enjoyed this. Fairly new to my collection, but I have really enjoyed wearing this one. So far, I have all of the Red Temptations. This is definitely the freshest one. It is the summer one. In here we have notes of lychee, raspberry, those watery fruits, rose petals, peony. I am finding peony comes across quite fresh to my nose, amber, praline, and musk. This is very elevated, not body splash like. You're getting the full perfume experience and vibe without it being heavy, sickening, too sweet. That watery fruit keeps it from going too sweet, too gourmand. She's elevated, she's elegant. I find it wears absolutely beautiful in the heat. I would even wear this to the gym, honestly. I would rock this at the gym, no questions asked, without a problem. She is absolutely lovely. It is probably one of my newer favorites in my collection, and that's saying something. This is probably one of the only ones in my collection that I would say kind of reminds me of the soapiness of like a actual body wash. This is Banana Republic Gardenia and Cardamom. I think this is lovely. This would actually also make a really beautiful bridal scent. Maybe it's the white bottle making me think that, but I could definitely see a bride wearing this. Now, this one is not as crystal clear as the others I have mentioned. This one has a creaminess in there. If you have smelled, I never know how to say it, Etat de Libre, Etat something, the Ghost in the Shell. That has like a milky skin note. That is what this reminds me of. That same kind of milkiness that's like you just kind of smell like that. You're not really wearing something, but also like maybe you're just wearing a really good creamy body wash that the scent still lingers, kind of Dove-esque if you would. In here we have Gardenia Mandarin Orange, Tuberose, Cardamom, Jasmine, Ylang Ylang, Magnolia, Rose, Carnation, Amber, and Driftwood. So this is definitely a floral fragrance. There's just something about that creaminess in here that really reminds me of like a really lovely creamy body wash. And I think it might be the Carnation. I don't think I have many things with that. There's a very unique floral note in here that I find absolutely beautiful. If you like soapy yet creamy, clean and floral with just like a little hint of sweetness, which is probably the amber bringing out just enough sweetness, this is honestly really beautiful. And there is a sexiness to this. It's not like I am woman hear me roar sexy. It's like I just am like this and I exude beauty, femininity, and sex appeal. This is actually lovely. Why don't I wear this more? Oh my gosh. I find myself really drawn to this fragrance. This is Letta 22 Auris. If you want elegant fresh, not body wash, not fruity body splash, but like elevated, elegant, I've got money fresh, this is it. The bottle honestly is the perfect representation, ignore my fingerprint, representation of this fragrance. Like you can just tell she's elevated, she's elegant, she is classy. I actually don't wear this a lot because I'll be real with you, I'm not that elevated, I'm not that classy, I'm pretty blue collar, pretty simple, don't really get that dressed up all the time. In fact, I'm just in my tank top here hanging out with you guys at my house. So I don't have a lot of reason to reach for this, but I find her absolutely elegant. This is like the woman I wish I was, like attending red carpets, ballroom charity events, that's her. We have pear leaf, freesia, pink pepper. I definitely think freesia is a fresher floral than that pear leaf. Gives just a touch of greenness and sweetness. Orris root is in here. Again, I find that very fresh. Makes it a little juicy, watery without going that fruity, juicy body splash way. Lily of the Valley, jasmine. This is where it gets interesting. Marshmallow musk. So there's definitely a sweetness in here, but that musk keeps it lighter, softer, not gourmand, not dense, not syrupy. Sandalwood and moss. I often find that fragrances with moss are perfectly balanced sweetness. That moss just tames sweetness in such a lovely way. It's actually one of my favorite notes in fragrance because it just is the perfect balance to fragrance. This is elegant. I would not wear this to the gym. She's way too elevated. It's not that fresh, okay? But if you're wanting to just be like, I just smell amazing, I have money, and I am put together fresh, this is one I would reach for. And sitting here on my table even, I had some others that I was thinking about mentioning, but I either haven't worn them enough to feel like I really have a good understanding to share them with you guys, or they're just sweet enough that I'm like, if I'm reaching for fresh and it's hot outside, it might not jive. I feel like we've covered a good amount. In fact, we've covered quite a few. I hope you're still with me. But if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel. My channel is growing, which is so exciting. And lately I've been having people comment and give me their fragrance recommendations, and I absolutely love getting to chat with you guys about fragrance. So yes, as always, please try to stay positive, because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.